That was a one chord blues. One chord. How do you do that?
And then there's eight.
Yeah. Like, sometimes people have, said jazz is really hard because there's so many chords. But then some people have said, no, but then it tells you where to go. Whereas sometimes the simpler it is, it's like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, right.
I gotta stay, how do I be creative within that one chord? And I've just figured, if we could be as creative in that one chord, on all of the chords and all of the notes, whoa, now I take it to a whole nother level. It's possible. Our brains are capable, human beings are capable of tremendous, incredible feats of what seem like superpowers, and music is kind of between a science and a magical power. And I just love it. What do y'all think of that? Yeah, it's kind of fun, right? You really can't get lost. That's a song that was done by Howlin' Wolf. Yeah, the voice like this, Wolf out here howling. You won't see me fooling around with an old cigarette, something that ain't good for me. Well, he was. But when the first time I heard his voice, I thought I'd never heard anything like that before. And so I really delved into his music, and I got to play with his guitarist, Hayward, who is his long-time guitarist, who was the guitarist on all that stuff. And then so they don't make those people anymore. The people that have been around that actually helped invent blues and rock and roll, and they were there, they are it. Like Ernie is one of them. Ernie is one of them. Before they had a name for it, he was playing it. So I hang around. I've always see people say, "Are you an old soul?" I am. I'm getting older. I used to be old school, and now I'm just old. But I'm an old soul in the sense that I've always wanted to hang out with people that were older than me because they knew more. And I wanted to learn what they had. They always seemed to know what was going on and know what to do. So. That's the blues. That's a one-chord blues right there. I feel good because we've done a few different examples of different kinds of things and showing how with the blues. Look at the amount of people that's grown since we've started this. It invites you in. And most people, if they're not musicians, when the music is over, the music stops. But for us, it keeps going. It's still going in our head. It's still going. You know what I mean? Who knows what I'm talking about? Like even when you stop playing music, like you're walking around and you just got a song in your head and whatever it is. It may be a melody of a song or you may be writing something. And that's the time to write it down or say it into your phone. It's like dreams. If you don't write it down right away, you forget it. And sometimes you get some cool ideas from your inspiration. So that's, wow, that was a lot of fun. Is there any questions or comments from anybody, whether it's the musicians or the students? It's all good.
I got an idea, man.
He's got a question too.
Well, since I'm kind of laying down the groove, we're talking about blues.
Hang on.
Yeah, give him the mic.
I was thinking about, as far as what I'm doing, laying down a groove, talking about a blues, when we have not played a Latin blues.
Right.
So I'll just lay down a Latin groove for you, and we'll play another form of blues, but with a different feel. Right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you, because that's what I meant to do that.
Gavin had a question.
Oh, it's the first question.
Not me, over there.
Preguntas.
I'm not sure if you already answered this question, but how do you keep things interesting for one word?
How do you keep it interesting?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's such a good question.
Great question. You kind of sort of answered it a little bit. But we can get some details.
Okay, again, for me, I'm thinking about the song. I'm thinking about the melody of the song. And then I'm thinking about parts. Like parts. Like there's horn parts, there's guitar parts. Like whether it's funk, you talk about James Brown, they didn't Prince, they didn't do a lot of complicated things, but it was, on that.
Yeah.
It was that 1 chord or that 4 chord, and they got real good at that. Really good at it. So, for me, I'm listening to everybody, I'm thinking about the song, and I'm thinking, where is a spot for me? Where's my spot? Where I'm not stepping on somebody else, but I'm supporting them, and it kind of fills in. It's like you find your spot. You find your role on the team within the song. That's my approach. Somebody.
I wanted to say dynamics is a big thing it's a big thing all the time, but it's incredibly important when you're not doing a lot of harmonic changing, because that, sometimes just changing chords makes things interesting. But when you're on 1 chord, you got to do other things. So like he was saying, parts are really important, but dynamics is huge too. Bring it up, bring it down, bring it back up. And the same with parts. Do the part, go away, bring it back. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
What I want to add is off of what Murali said. I basically started a conversation with band members. That's probably the most interesting time. So I listen to myself play, and the most interesting things I play is when I engage various members of the band. And that's what Murali was saying. That's probably the most important, particularly when there's not a lot. There's a lot of chords and stuff. There's going to be some concentration dealing with that side of it for most of us, myself included. But if there's the 1 chord, then that goes away. And then the playing field is kind of open and free, and then it's going to be much easier, particularly with people that I don't play with all the time, which unfortunately we play quite a bit, but not a lot, not all the time by any stretch. So tuning into each other, that's probably the most important thing you can do, is because he gave me ideas. I got ideas all from everybody in the band, just different little snippets or the voice or anything. So if you're playing stuff, when you really listen to what's around you, you'll play stuff that you never played before in some cases, as I did just then. And then I'll throw something out there which was inspired by something someone said, then they'll respond to that, and it'll just go back and forth and then around. And so that's the most important thing we can do is to keep things interesting in any improvisation, any kind of tune, is just tune into each other. And in that way you'll play stuff that's not the stuff that you normally play. And at your age, you haven't built up a ton of vocabulary yet, most of you. And so, but even if you have a lot of vocabulary like we have, I still would rather play stuff that I get from them than stuff I practiced in many cases, or have that to add to what I might. Like I played this kind of 5-group triplet thing that I have practiced, right? I did that thing, so I got that. That's something I worked on. But then when I do it, other people respond, and that's what's cool about it, because different things happen in response to that. That's the most fun of doing it. It's just create, so you can look for that. Rhythm is probably the easiest way to open that pathway of communication is rhythm. Yeah?
Yeah, I was just going to add to, and you're in my combo, and the last couple of days we had challenges, with trying to get you to pace yourself in your solo, but you were doing it today, and continue to do that. But what I was going to say from a harmonic standpoint, because we've all been discussing chord scales and how to put the right scales on the chords and things. So another thing you want to think about, and this is for all of you, you don't have to play the entire scale up and down.
Right.
Take 1 to 4 notes out of the scale and create these little macro chapters.
Compounders will work on that.
Little, I call them storylines. So you take a few pieces at a time. When what they call in classical music motifs.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you think about it from that standpoint, that'll help keep you grounded.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Anyone else want to add a point? Everybody good? Should we do Latin blues? Let's do this. Last tune for the day. And again, I just want to put your hands together one more time for this incredible group of wow. So, take it away, my friend.
All right. So, we throw in as much as we can. And once again, give it up for Don and Andre and all of you, and Jay, all your teachers, and all of you. Richard, thank you for having us again. Chris, everyone. So, you know, and they say Latin blues, what does that mean? Different things, but in this case, we'll do what Ernie sometimes refers to as, or Doug Sound refers to as the donkey-onk beat. And it's going to combine the donkey-onk beat with the shuffle. And it's going to be minor, because I don't think we really did like a minor one yet. So it's in the key of G minor, but that's a little fast though. I'll have to slow it down though. Let me start and then we'll go. Yeah, because otherwise, like that's the other thing, is to think about the song, think about the tempo, because otherwise you could jump off. You know, you could the runners you can false start and get off too fast. So this is again in the spirit of not rushing but keeping the energy there, and then demonstrating these couple of little things here. So this is called All Your Love, I Miss Lovin' in G minor, and then the solos go to dominant chords. Yeah, basically. So. Yeah, you know,